Welcome! Welcome to Winds News. I'm your friend Amit Roy, and from Winds News, I am going to tell you something about Iran. That Iran. And how Americans are putting pressure on Iran. How Israel has stated that Iran is the main enemy. Though apparently there is a broken peace between Saudi Arabia and Iran. But I don't think all the water has flown under the water, under the tunnel. There's still so many things left. Iran is making lots of atomic, fissile materials, and very soon they could reach an atomic bomb. And Iran is a part of Axis power. You must understand that. Iran's bomb can threaten a lot of people and create a total disharmony in the region, even in Asia. Because Iran's ambitions are very evil. Islamic Iran's ambitions. People talk about Pakistan and Islamic fundamentalism. I don't think Pakistan is not Islamic fundamentalist state. They are British football fanatics. They treat Islam as a football match. They don't understand the depth of fanaticism in that sense. They are wild, uneducated, wild people, rowdy. But they are not fanatic in that sense. They're still liberal. They like foreigners. They want to escape their country. They want to go somewhere for better life. So they don't hate foreigners. They, post sometimes that they hate foreign. But in general, Pakistanis are not fundamentalists in that sense. Look at Iran. The creation of fundamentalism, 79. Khomeini, the black turban man. Look, the way he has presented fundamentalism, that has influenced also in Afghan war. And though it says Abdul Azam, the Middle Eastern, has done that, he's the brainchild behind that fundamentalism and Bin Laden. But no, that's a different kind of jihad and fundamentalism. But real core, culturally crude kind of fundamentalism, that is Iran's fundamentalism. It's very much like Hitler's fundamentalism. So we have to be very careful about Iran. Now look how Iran has Iran's geopolitical ambitions. Why Iran cannot be trusted? Modi government is a very stupid government. I must say it's a foolish government. There are ideologues are talking ill about the United States. Telling why United States is not doing so many things for India. What United States will do. What you have done for United States. You have sabotaged United States effort. It's now coming to Iran and United States. They have burned United States flag so many times. Thrown trash, carrying United States, our flag, stars and stripes. And I didn't forget that. They've taken American diplomats hostage. Now look, Iran's ambition is very sinister. Now it has a link with Hezbollah. It has links with Hamas. Iran is stalling the peace process in Israel and Palestine because of their global vision of, sort of hegemony. It's a sort of cultural hegemony. It's like France in a way, The same kind of mentality Iranians and French people. So they gel quite well in that sense. And they are meddled in Syria. How they have interfered and challenged the United States and West, despite of so many sanctions, and supplied drones to the Russians, invading Russians in against Zelensky's forces in Kiev and other places. Iranian drone changed the war for a while, but though this is no more effective, but for a time Iranian case, drones create so much mayhem. Now, they have also tried to kill many Americans. Look, I can name a man, super terrorist. His name is Mugnaya in Lebanon. He attacked American bases in Beirut on behalf of Iran. I know what has happened. I'll explain it in some other time. And Iran was so much involved by Mugnaya in drug trade. And plus, Soleimani and his forces, whom America officially declared some of the forces terrorist force. How Soleimani was planning to attack American targets in Iraq and other places. Iraq has some global kind of, terrorism supported. Now, anyway, that's not the point right now, but Indians are hobnobbing with Iran. Historically, Indians and Iranians have a sort of, it didn't go well traditionally. See, look at Nadir Shah and the conquest of India and what a mayhem he did. And this is the overall picture. But now Iran is totally influenced by Axis power, mainly by Chinese. Now Indians have a Chabahar port and Indians think that they will reach Central Asia via Iran. I don't know what kind of proposal is that. India's foreign policy is very myopic in that sense. Hugging Iran, the evil, and China, they are totally influenced by China. Many Indian projects are cancelled due to Chinese influence. And, they are selling, because of sanctions, they are selling oil to India. And okay, I don't know, so many, Indian foreign policy thinkers what they're thinking, but I don't think Americans try to stop that. Indians are talking about why America is not doing this much and that, like transfer of technology, missile technology, and many, many things. Now, I want to tell people, though we're natural partners, there is no doubt, but how the way Modi administration has behaved is they are not trustworthy. In G7, look, Zelensky wanted to convince Modi. Somehow Modi and his entourage didn't react, and Modi was sidelined in G7. I was very surprised to see that in Tokyo, India's natural partner, Japan, was, okay, but, Modi did his publicity show for his domestic audience. Internationally, if he was, according to Congress leaders, and even I saw, he was sort of sidelined, though he had a Biharaga and all, but what he has brought. Maybe he has bought some business. That's another thing with Japanese business. That is bilateral. But in general, he could not, India could not strengthen Quad. There was no military talk in Quad. There was no pressure on China. So I don't think, China, but G7 meeting was good. Although China has boycotted that meeting in Kashmir, so is Saudi Arabia. But Indians didn't understand. China would do that. China is a country that would attack India all the time. And I understand China's position. China is an evil power. But Saudi didn't attend. That was a shocking revelation. But in general, G20 meeting was successful, I believe. It was mainly on tourism, and I guess it was a very nice thing. So, but Iran also came. That's a good thing. I will not condemn Iran for that. But in general, no, I don't know Iran has come or not. I don't know. Maybe Iran has come. I don't know really. I don't know. But I was talking about the foreign policy with India, Iran. Now, if you are hobnobbing with Iran, I don't know where you will reach and when they'll backfire. Indians will better start negotiating with Pakistan. Pakistanis are more dependable than Iranians. They don't hate. Why you hate Pakistanis? Open your gate for Pakistan. Make friendship with Pakistan. that is more favorable. Iran, I doubt Iran, in the long run, Iran India relation, under this current regime of Iran, look how they've killed their own people for not wearing simple hijabs. So many people were shot dead, so many women were harassed, killed. This is Iranian mentality, fundamentalist mentality. And Indians are trusting in Chabahar port. I don't think, but very near China has opened one another port. But Iran has allowed that. And Iranian oil is going to China. Now India, though it says it's it's non-aligned power, but I don't know what is non-alignment mean, right, in this world context. If that hobnobbing with Russia, Putin the dictator, Xi Jinping, you don't criticize Xi Jinping. They have so many draconian laws, and they are criticizing India every day, telling Kashmir is a dispute. So that is a more worrisome thing. But under the backdrop, I must say, Indians must rubbing their shoulder with their natural partner. That is the West and United States. India is a democracy, at least in paper, and United States is the global leader of the all democracies, the free world. Though Biden has made a lot of crazy things, he could play with the economy, that deeply sucked into debt crisis, and they could default, though the most debts are domestic. But Biden is not a good picture of economic solvency or even foreign policy. But look, the man came from the Biden stock and barrel. That is Obama. Obama gave Iran this kind of leverage so that Iran was scot-free. And he signed a deal. And Iran flouted all the deal and did some kind of crazy thing under the carpet. So this nuclear problem is created by Obama administration. Iran fooled Obama administration. President Trump was very vocal and stopped that, rejected that deal, in Iran-US deal on nuclear disarmament. Because the Americans don't trust. And same the country America doesn't like is a threat for America. How can be India's good interest? I don't know. Though Indians have a cultural affinity and others, but I don't think that's pure crap. Even Saudis, though they made a partial deal with them, because Iran was so busy helping Houthis against Saudi interests. So it was some sort of marriage of convenience. Indians must be opening their eyes and curtail their dependence on Iran, China, Russia access. Because that's not India's interest. Indians must be more vocal and show open support, as the most Indian public supports United States. And do not foment anti-Indian, anti-American sentiment in your intellectual forums by BJP and its members against the United States. They should refrain from doing that. America is the main backer of India. American democracy is sort of, stabilizer in Indian democracy. It plays as a referee. So I will request BJP and other this kind of Hindutva mentality. Do not put pressure on the United States. Do not pressure on United States policies, telling the United States has not done enough. What you have done? This is my humble submission. And Indians, foreign policy makers, Modi's government foreign policy makers, be careful about Iran. Iran is not going to be a long time friend. Thank you very much. And also Russia. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Best wishes. Thank you very much. Please like me and subscribe.